What's up, everybody? Welcome to DGAB After Dark. How are y'all doing this evening? Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Just getting everything set up, sharing the live, waiting on Dustin, Curtis, and Tanya to get in here. There's Dustin. Let's get him invited in here. There's Dustin. What's up, buddy?
What, bud?
Yeah, man, just trying to get the peeps in here.
Heck yeah. Throw some lights down.
There's Curtis's invite. What's up, Pickles? What's up, Steve? Cobra? What's up?
Hey, what's up, boys?
There's Curtis.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
You got bowlers helping bowlers in the chat?
Yeah, everybody's up in the chat here, yo. Just waiting on Tanya now. I sent her the share, so what's everybody been up to?
Curtis, how was your day, buddy?
Absolutely awful.
Stand by. Okay, there's Tanya. Hang on. Let's get Tanya up in here. I said, lost my hustle at you tonight. Started cracking all that. Sucks. Sucks when you start losing a bowling ball. Tanya, I sent you the invite. Now you have to accept it. So, I think that's the quickest we've all kind of got on here. Cobra, thanks for liking the live, bro. Yeah. I purposely, like, as soon as I go live, I start doing the intros just so we don't have any dead space when I upload the video to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, you don't want that dead space. But
no.
I was thinking about that too for the YouTube, because you clip it for that. Like, we could get to a point where we're ready and kind of like, boom, do the lead in. That way, when you cut it onto YouTube, it's already edited like for that.
Yeah. I have to figure that out one day here. All right, Tanya, where you at, girl?
I think you told me to stand by.
I did. I sent her the invite. Now she's not in here. I guess she's going to go out and come back in.
I think that's what she meant by stand by. She'll be back. Stand by.
I should be right back too. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh. Well, hunky dory. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Already, we've been here for just a few minutes, sitting at almost over 700 likes. I appreciate y'all. You guys are freaking amazing. Yeah, as far as that night goes at the alley, Curtis, let's never do that again.
No, never. No.
Okay. Tanya's back. What's up, Zach? Hey, Amy, Joe, Cobra. Thanks for everybody. Appreciate you guys getting in here.
Are you asking for fill in on what happened, Dustin? Oh, well, we didn't have enough lanes to start, so we kind of took Michael's league, since there are doubles, and we doubled them up. So some lanes had multiple teams on them that weren't initially on there, and we thought that would get us through, but then those lanes started to break down, and a lot of unhappy bowlers. I think I lost 85 pounds running and sweating.
All right, I'm trying to. All right, Tanya, your invite is there.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hang on.
So I guess I can't do this on my laptop.
No, not really.
It's showing my age.
I sent there. Look, there you are. All right.
I want it on my laptop.
That's okay. This is good. This is very good.
I don't know. This is not my best view.
Yeah. See.
Hi.
Look,
Sorry.
Steve said loud and clear.
Apparently, I have not done this before, so sorry.
quite
Hopefully this
all
all
right.
fall.
And welcome in. You did it. Good job.
Took forever. How long? Like 8 minutes?
It's okay. No, 4 minutes. It's okay.
The record.
But no, I'm gonna turn this bad boy over to Mr. Dustin Caps, man. You're the man.
Thank
You
you.
driving?
And yep, I got us. And welcome in everybody to Damn Good Average Bowler After Dark. I believe this is episode 6. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. We are back from not really a break, but doing lots of stuff that we've talked about on other shows and podcasts and whatnot with the Derek Tate tournament and lots of stuff. So we're back. And with me, you know what it is. Right there, the man. He is our pillar of knowledge, local pro, and very own CEO. As I lost Tanya. I don't have her anymore.
Just lost Tanya.
Okay. Make sure it wasn't just me. I'll continue. But our pillar of knowledge, local pro, and very own CEO, Michael Price. At least you're still here, bud.
I'm still here, bro. If I wasn't here, we'd all been offline.
And the GMC, Curtis.
Yes, GMC.
And when she is back, our latest edition, which we're all very excited about. And
Stop. Come on, Tanya. Stop. Yeah. Stop hitting the buttons. There.
How did you know? No, I was trying. You know what? I'm not even doing it. I'm trying. Never mind.
We
All
can
right.
see you.
you're
There
doing
we go.
good.
You're there.
You're
All
doing
right,
good.
now go, Dustin.
We are so
Sorry.
proud of you.
I'm trying.
Speaking of SS15, folks.
That's my age showing.
But no, I did Mike and Curtis's intro, and we are very excited to have you on as our 4th member. Some of you know already, but those that don't, Miss Tanya is joining us.
Yes. Hello. Hola.
So she's joining us let me continue that, as the latest member of DGAB, not just tonight, but she is our 4th. So we are 4 strong now at the core.
Yes.
And that's what we're
4
doing.
pieces make a whole. Let me stop.
Pickle says hi.
Hey, Pickles. Sorry. I have to do that.
But we're very excited, and you're just going to kind of coast along as we start with, you've watched us on the show before. I think you've been in there, and so now it's awesome to have you on. And we always start with check in with the boys and the gal. So check in with the crew. It's kind of how we're doing overall.
Okay.
So,
Here we go, ladies first.
Priceless. Yes. Mr. Price is so priceless. Hi. So, everything, it's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. I'm ready for it to be over, even though a woman's job is never done. So we're here. I'm excited. You know, I get to talk some caca and we'll be great.
Well, if it's a time to talk that, it's no better time because we got Steve Pickles and Joel all up in here, along with
It's gonna be amazing.
another guest in the
I
house.
must have missed Joel sneaking in there. What up, Joel?
We did.
What up, my G?
That's a what up, G?
Well, good. So, yep, halfway through the week. Curtis, you made it through the night, but overall, how are you doing in life, bud?
Well, career-wise, we all know that I'm doing a lot better than the last time we were all here. Because, I mean, we've announced before, but I am now the general manager of my bowling alley. So that's been great. It's very trying. Been experiencing a lot of mental fry lately, but I'm enjoying the challenge. So I'm doing pretty good right now.
Cool. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. We're very glad that you are our very own new GMC. So, yes, very happy to see you in that position and now moving forward. So I'm excited about this. Mikkel, how you doing, bud?
Been a trying week because it's been 1 week since I announced that I was retiring, if you will, from league bowling altogether. And I know a lot of people on here, a lot of people messaged me on here and they were like, no, it can't be true. And then people down at the bowling alley are getting wind of it. And again, no, it's like nobody can really believe that I'm stepping aside. And also, I wanted to tell you this too, Dustin. Our boy Salazar made an appearance down there tonight too.
You did.
Yeah, he come down there. He's still nursing his left shoulder. Um, he came in there and he was like, "Oh, you're not done." And I was like, "Chris," I said, "You don't want to challenge me, man. Like I will not roll a ball out on principle if that's the case."
Not to mention he was half the size that he was the last time I saw him.
Yeah, he dropped some weight. So, but really good on him though. I mean, good on him. You know, he looks healthier and. You know, and again, like it's, you know, he's been away from it for a while. I don't know how long it's been since he hurt his elbow or he had that surgery or whatever the case may be. But no, just like my whole thing is, it's like the first couple of days after I was okay, but the last Saturday, Sunday, Monday, last 4 days have really plagued in my mind because it's just, you know, and it's going to be one of those. It's going to be kind of almost a learning curve where I'm going to have to be like, this is really like I'm really done with this. You know, it's kind of like a little different part of my life now, which, you know, everybody and their brother thought that DGAB was like, you know, okay, he's done. I'm like, no, we're not done. We're just getting started. That just means I got more time to put into the brand. I got more time for, you know, taking on more stuff with Bowling World and, yeah, makes tournaments better. Yeah, I'm going to try to do that by running tournaments and stuff and doing my sweepers. You know, I'm still able to contribute to the game itself. It's just not in the way that some people may want to. But see, that's like Zach right here saying this, taking a break would be cool too, though. I mean, see, I can't tell you how many people have been like, oh, you just need to take a break and everything. It's like, look, man, like at the end of the day, you know when you know. And I just feel like right now I've done, oh, you bowling in tournaments, bro? Nah. Dude, I'm telling you, not unless I figure this wrist thing out, Joel, it's not going to. But what I'm trying to get through to people is, it's like I'm going to have my days where I don't really know what to think about it. Then there's other days, like I've told Curtis and I've told, you know, everybody, I'm like, I'm at peace with it. I can contribute in other ways to the game, and I can still be actively a part of it. And I know that's what everybody wants to say. Oh, it might be good in a year. But another thing about it is like if I'm out of it for 365 days, I might really just be like, I'm still good. You know? And everybody gave McElroy that same rite of passage too. Like he quit for a year, and that turned into 7 years, and he never came back to it. And so it's like, don't, you know, like I think what bothers me more is it's like when you tell people you're done and that's what you made. It took me a long time to make that decision. Like, not a lot of people, like, y'all know. Like, I've been going back and forth with it and everything else in between. But, like, this, I don't know. Something came over me last Wednesday. And I think, honestly, it was because, like, I was sitting there testing my grip in the shop. And I came back. I was trying to swing it back. And the ball almost fell out of my hand. And like I lost grip. Like it's almost like I couldn't grip down. But then I gripped down and then it just shot a pain right up. And I was like, I can't do this for 32 weeks. I can't do it. And you got to listen to your body and again, maybe a break, whatever. But I'm saying, y'all, like I am okay with it. And I want people to understand I am good with it. I'm still DGAB. We are still DGAB collectively. We're still going to be doing stuff. So we're not going anywhere. If anything, it gives me more time to kind of help dedicate, you know, coaching up people and watching them. And a lot of people don't understand that me watching y'all achieve your goals. And if I had some sort of blueprint, win that, you know, like when Dustin and Curtis throw their first 300 games, like I know I'm going to have a footprint in that. You can roll your eyes all you want, but I'm just saying it's really possible. And anything's possible. And at least I know like that makes me happy. And makes me at peace with things. So, and sorry, I keep going on 90 to nothing.
No.
I really wanted to just clear the air about that. Like this was a tough decision, but it's one that is necessary for not just physical health, but it's also mental health. And I know that gives you a good rite of passage right into the next thing, Mr. Caps.
Well, that was going to be really my only question was, are you good with it? So if you're good with it, man, then like that's what really matters.
Yeah. It's just funny to me how I've got more people out there. And again, I'm not saying that, you know, people that don't care or anything like that, but it's like, guys, like the worst thing you could do to somebody when they've made a decision is to try to put doubt in their head. So it's like at the end of the day, like respect that person's decision. And if they end up making a decision to change their mind, then it's on them. And then you can sit there and say, I told you so. But like, help me with this like being my friend and helping me through this transition. Like, let me help people bowl better. Let me coach people better. Let me run sweepers. Let me run tournaments. Let me give opportunities to people. Let me do the things that I know I can do that will make me happy. So that's what will make me happy right now is like I can watch you guys blossom and us continue to grow as a brand. So I promise, like if I wasn't good, you'd see me on here super duper emotional about it. But I think I've been really good. Like the times I've been really, really super depressed, a lot of people may or may not have known it because I'm, other than my close friends, I'm good at hiding that. So that's all I'll say.
And to not rabbit hole it right now, but I think we could mention it's not outside knowledge at least. Our next big thing coming up,
absolutely, yeah,
is the clinic, and we're already focusing big time on that, which we're very excited about. We'll be talking about that some more on the next DGAB regular episode on the
28.
Yeah, 28. So yeah, tons of stuff still happening. We're not letting them die behind the scenes. Tons going on with DGAB. So we just want you happy, Mikkel.
And like I said, I'm doing the things that I'm doing, and I'm helping where I'm helping. And you know, the thing about it is, the busier I am, the less I have to think about it. I've always
for sure.
Like the more stuff and more projects I'm in, I don't have time to really just loop on it and really get my, because if I do a lot of if I get myself in a quiet spot and I really start thinking about it, that's when it gets the worst. But I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and I'm okay with it. And if I really wasn't, again, y'all three would be the first to know that I'm really having some trouble, and I'm really on the struggle bus with it. But I am at peace, everybody. I am still able to do what I'm doing here. I'm still able to help y'all. I'm still able for us to, as a brand as a whole, to keep doing what we're doing, and that's the bottom line. Or as Santino Morello would say, those are the bottom lines.
That's right, Mikkel.
Yeah, I think it's great that it's growing. You're growing, and it's just, it's time for a new chapter. And I think that's really great. And I know it's hard because bowling is everything. It's been your world for a very, very long time. So I understand. But I'm also excited for you because I do feel that there's going to be bigger things for you and other doors and opportunities that you never even thought about that are going to open for you. So
there we go. That's how I got to look at it too. And it's just like I said, there's other stuff out there, and we're out here, as our good buddy Pickles would say, we're out here crushing it, y'all. So
middle name Mikkel. Oh, that's your middle name, Steve.
This guy up here.
Oh yeah, that one.
How you doing, Dustin?
I absolutely agree with you with the having too much time to think type of deal. I fell into that when I retired and moved here and was doing nothing. Just it's way too much time to think, and that's not good for me. So get more stuff going. And currently I'm doing pretty good now. It's just looking at the next few steps, hoping to have my own house by the end of the year, by Christmas, hopefully is kind of the goal. So I was actually just talking about this the other day to my buddy's kid when they called, kind of the same thing for myself. It's very easy, like what you were talking about. If we have time, we'll think about the worst things. We like to catastrophize and always think about the worst things and worst outcomes, and oh my gosh, this and that. It's very easy to do that, so a lot of us like to naturally, but you can also just hit pause on that, like the self-aware to self-regulate. So hey, I don't like thinking about this negative crap anymore. Let me think about something pleasant. So then I'll start thinking about DGAB stuff, actually, what we have come. I'm always thinking about different things like that. So you can shift to what you're thinking about.
Right.
But staying active, though, that wood's kicking my ass, but I'm almost done with that wood pile. There's only 2 pieces left on the side of the house. So being physically active again and doing other things, I'm feeling pretty good. Still, everybody has the rough days. My allergies are destroying my eyeballs right now, and they are killing me. So that's my eyeballs will literally hurt. But mentally doing pretty good, trying to stay, like you said, really active mentally, even if my body's stagnant type of thing. If that makes sense.
Right. Absolutely.
but it's easy to get sucked into stuff, and certain people you may have to deal with that you don't want to, you know what I mean? And let
Yeah.
that kick up mud and whatnot. That's very
Customers.
easy to do.
Well, and again, y'all said the magic words right there. Like, that's another thing. Like I said to a bunch of customers tonight, like Austin and Salazar, I said, I'm at the point where if I'm bowling in league, you expect me to work the shop. If I'm out here practicing, trying to work on my game, you expect me to work in the shop. And if I'm out and about, if I'm getting into my car, you expect me to work in the shop. And at the end of the day, like, if I cannot, not only just from a physical standpoint, but again, the mental standpoint, where I cannot actually enjoy doing it, then I have no business doing it. It's time to find something to do. And you would be amazed. I think it's just one of those things that gets under my skin a little bit. It was just like, you know, people, they don't want to take you at face value anymore. So it's like, again, it's like I told Curtis, I was like, no, I didn't tell you, Curtis. I told Matt Massa, I said, some of these people really like to challenge me, and I will on principle alone. I
Be like,
principle alone. Never
you could
pick up another ball again. I can make that happen.
They could kindly FO. FAFO.
Yeah.
I had an old first sergeant. He was actually a Muslim guy named Fred Gay, black Muslim guy, First Sergeant Gay. Loved the guy. Deployed with him first time to Iraq. He would always say, and I didn't quite understand it then, but I certainly do now. You know what I wish, Caps? And after once or twice, you knew what it was. Like, I wish a mother would.
Yes, I love that phrase.
All
Love
the time
it.
you would say that, yeah. And so now it's just like, I wish you would challenge me. Go ahead. I will. I'm waiting for something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, but everything's copacetic on my end, y'all. If something was really,
Good.
y'all would, you know. And I think another thing, a lot of it is, it's like I really, if there's something that is still bothering me, which it's going to bother me for a long time. And I talked to a lawyer and I talked to Ben about this. But another thing about it is like, lawyer brought up, I think it was Saturday in the shop. Lawyer brought up, he says, man, do you got like the last ball we started talking about like the last couple of bowling balls I ever drove for Derek. And what was so funny about it is I went and I was like, I think I did it in 2023. And as soon as I went to 2023 and as soon as I hit the letter T, right there, his card just fell out on me. And I was like, if this ain't some sort of sign, and that card, that his spec card stays right there by me now. Because, and I've told people, if something still will always bother me, again, like I said, it's been 7 months. Like,
I know.
if I'm not okay, I'm not okay at the fact that I had to bury my friend who was 36 years old, and I have to watch his daughter grow up without their daddy. And that bothers me.
Yeah.
And that's not fair, because a kid is a spitting image of my friend.
Yeah.
If it's something that does bother me, like I'm honest with y'all, I'm not taking his death very well, because it's just too damn young.
Yeah.
Too damn young. It's like, I don't know. There's just something about it. But the good that I took from everything that happened, and this is a collective on all our parts, is that tournament was absolutely effing successful.
Yep.
Because of everything and everyone that contributed to it, all of us doing what we do, and everybody else that came out. I mean, like Barbara still talks about Pickles and Steve down from Missouri and up from Fort Lauderdale.
Yep.
That she still talks to me about it. She says, I just cannot believe that they would come just to honor my son. And I was like, the TikTok community, if it like, and that's another thing that makes me so happy about being here, is because like we have seen so many things grow. Like again, like Steve and Pickles and Cobra are doing Bowlers Helping Bowlers, and then just past Saturday, Pickles and Britt and Cobra and Steven, they started the learning curve. And it was a really good episode. So I'm telling you, I know, Dustin, you and I talk about stuff like that. That was a really well done episode for episode 1. So if it's not something anybody's went and seen, please go check that out. They do have a YouTube channel, so I need to give a quick shout out. And I think that it would actually, without a shadow of a doubt, would get the 100% Caps Wisdom seal of approval.
What is the name of the YouTube channel, Michael?
I think it's the Learning Curve. I think that's what it is. Cobra and all of them are in here, so maybe they could drop that in the chat for y'all. There's the manager buzz. There's the manager buzz.
We're just cute right there. Yep. Check out their new show. Yeah, I think it was Saturday, wasn't it?
Yes, sir, it was.
Yep. So I didn't get to watch it because Logan and I, that's the day we went to Nashville to meet up with Ruth and the Scam Haters crew.
Yep.
But actually, I won't go into it, but their new show is kind of like what gave me the idea that I was sending in our group text, I think yesterday or day before, something like that, about something that we might be able to do. So, yeah, it was an awesome tournament. The people, I mean, can't put into words. But now the awesome people that we've got to meet in person through and the things that we'll get to continue to do it's awesome. It's yet again humbling, you know, it's awesome to be part of. So, yeah.
Cool.
Another thing about it is that's kind of when Curtis was starting his ascension to the GMC spot.
Yeah.
He has ascended.
Yep, that was a great day and a horrible day. It was a great day for the tournament. There was stuff going on behind the scenes that was not so great.
Yeah.
Hey, all I got to say is everything ran to spec, and I am so glad.
Except the bathrooms.
That's okay.
I know, right? That was so random.
That was
Towards the end.
Someone said, it's the bowling alley christening you. I said, in shit? That's what it's christening me in?
It's bad. That's how you bless when you go to your friend's house, you bless their house the same way.
Go clog your toilet, yeah.
I've done that more than once in more than one location.
Yes. You have a lot of friends.
Rite of passage.
Rite of passage, bro.
That kind of leads us into our next segment, which is bring to the table. Tanya, I don't know if you got the assignment for this or if you'll have anything, but again, we'll go first. And then if you have anything that you want to add, it was meant as a segment where you can literally bring anything you want to talk about. Something that you're excited about that you've just started doing or curious about and looked into, or as we typically do, you can bring a rant and bitch about something.
Okay.
Tends to be what it has turned into. Which oddly enough, I had a rant planned for mine.
Let's hear it.
Well, but instead, that's what I texted you guys earlier about. I'll talk about, because Saturday I didn't get to watch the show because I'd gone to Nashville to meet Ruth and Sandy and some other members of Scam Haters.
That's right.
That's the episode when we did the DGAB PSA with them.
Yes.
Yeah, so I got to meet Ruth. She flew in from the UK. And Dana flew in from, actually I think she flew in from Canada, but she is Persian, I believe. But just a bunch of the members had rented a cabin to meet up just outside of Nashville. So Logan and I drove up there for the day, got to hang out with them in person. And you saw the Facebook pictures. I'm wearing it. This bracelet she had given to me. And that little stone in there, either under a phone or like if you put your eyeball up to it. Just like that. It shows, tell me I have it in here. Yeah. It shows a little picture of the Scam Haters emblem.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. And she brought us chocolate bars, 3 big ass chocolate bars for me and one for each of the boys of Cadbury.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but just a great experience. And Nashville is an easy drive, boys.
Oh yeah.
At our meeting last night, but
there's a little traffic, but when you get up there, but it's worth the ride for sure.
it's funny how much that work literally never stops. Because Sandy, I've done a few shows with her. She was pretty much, her and Dana were on their phones the whole time, working still, dealing with people in active scams on all aspects of it and different amounts of money lost already. And just, it was crazy to get more insight. I talk to them all the time and we're friends and whatnot, but to hang out with them and talk to them and get some like behind the scenes stuff there, it's like there's some much more insaneness than, you know, y'all know that I've shared to you, you know, but man, a lot of scammers out there. But great to see them, and we're doing good stuff. So that was cool.
That's awesome.
That was mine. And Mike, you are next with, this will be a little bit of a rant here. Promised you some rants, folks, and here they are.
All right, so the other day, I had this couple come into the shop, and they're asking questions about which bowling balls they, like, what do they do? What are the different? So it's like this guy had not rolled a reactive ball since 2006, and I was like, okay, cool. So he was talking to me about, well, what should I do? And I was like, well, if you're just starting back, of course, I always recommend everybody look into a raw hammer, just to kind of get their groove back with it, especially if they've had, 20, 21 years out of it. So I think what set me off, though, is there was like 3 color choices of raw hammers. I usually keep 4, but I only had 3 this week because I ran out of one of the colors. But the first thing he does is he just goes, honey, which one is your favorite? And I don't know what it is that gets my gears grinded about this shit, but it's just the fact that, like, you don't need your spouse's approval on every fucking thing in the damn world. Like, you're using the bowling ball. Like, it's your choice. You're rolling it. Like, make your own decisions. It's like, my God, like, this is why I'm not married, and I'll probably never be married, because I'm not getting to the point where I'm looking at my spouse or my girlfriend or whatever, going, oh, honey, what do you like? Do you like this color on me? No, like, just, it's fucking stupid. I'm tired of it. Like, just make your own decisions. Be a big boy, be a big girl, make your own decision. And for the love of God, if you are a girl and you come in there with your friend, it's okay if you pick the same damn color. You ain't got to have 2 separate colors just because you're both women and it's like, oh my God, we've got the same dress on. Holy shit. Like, just stop it. Freaking stop it, y'all. That's not how it works in every relationship, sad to say. I know, that's my point. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, that just, I don't know. It just annoyed on top of the other many things that we've had bothering us. But that right there was just like, it's just the way he said it too. It was like, dude, like, it's like one of my teammates who will remain nameless every single time, like me and Kyle and Lou would talk about going somewhere to eat. And when you can pick which one of the 2 you want, I'm not going to say because, we protect the innocent with the names here. But, oh, well, I've got to talk to so-and-so about that. It's like, oh, my freaking God. Okay, like, fine, whatever. But maybe that is different, and I'm going off on a tangent the wrong way. But the thing about it is you don't have to have your boyfriend, girlfriend, your gay friend, your straight friend, your whoever friend. You don't have to have them pick everything for you. Be more independent. You can be independent and pick your own damn color.
I just have one question. I want to know how you really feel about it, Mike.
I guess I need to try to repeat myself again.
I think I contributed to that because I asked Steven what color did the color look good on me.
What does he say, Tanya? What did he say last night? It's
so I triggered the other half of that.
Me and him looked at you last night, Tanya. We was like, your decision. If it's your money.
But he was paying for him. I'm just,
He don't give a shit. He's going to get it for you because he's getting it for you. He don't care about the color.
That was funny.
You have to have understanding communication.
That's why.
You don't have to have, oh, honey, let me pick this color. Oh, if it'll please you for me to roll this color. You're not rolling it, but I'll roll it for you. No. I am not going. I'm not going with that. Sorry. I draw the line. Thanks for letting me vent.
You're welcome, Michael.
This rant was brought to you by Damn Good Average Bowler After Dark. We appreciate you guys.
Glad I could help.
I think somebody told Joel that I was going 90-0, and that's why Joel came back in here.
Just for one more. Also, what's your take on customers giving you their life story?
I'm sorry.
Listen, I couldn't help it.
I'm sorry.
I see that.
I don't need your life story.
Why?
I don't need your life story. I want to help you become successful on the lanes, and whether you've got that $12.23 number 3 double quarter pounder meal from McDonald's has no bearing on me helping you get into a ball. Oh, see, thank you, Joel. I know what you mean. I don't need your life story just to help you get cleaner. Like, which one of these cleaners are good? Any of them. How much do you want to pay? Now, as far as my equipment, I'm going to pick my own. Yes, thank you. You probably came in there a little bit late there, lawyer. So I had this really good ball, 11.99. What would be the top ball today? Oh, my God, yes. Dude, don't let me go. Yo, I love the question. I love it. It's too busy. Don't get me on this. Don't get me started. We got too much to cover.
All right. We'll move on, but it's fun. Plus, you needed some exercise, so you needed some vision, Michael.
Yeah, you did.
So that's the only reason I tossed that second one to you, so you
can
just.
No, you're not. But you're not. Like the thing about it is like at the end of the day, I don't need your life story. Okay, what I do need. Do you have your own bowling ball? How long has it been since you had your positive access point checked? Okay,
3
you
years.
haven't checked in a while. Let's get out on the lanes and let me find it for you, and then we can talk stuff. That's another thing, okay? And I'm going to end it with this, okay? For customers that come in, they are impulsive, absolutely impulsive. They do not want you to find anything about it. They want to get the most expensive ball. They want it to hook 65 million boards, and they don't want their spare games to be shit. They just want to strike at will. So it's either X's and O's. It's like it strikes and opens. We don't give a damn about spares anymore. Do I do layaway? Absolutely not. We are so done with layaways.
Wow.
So what about
trying to send you 0 to 60 again?
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, when it comes down to it, in review, you don't have to ask your significant other what color's your favorite.
But I asked you for your opinion.
No, you don't have to. Make your own decision.
Do some homework.
You can do that too.
I mean,
that's what customer service is for.
No, I'm going to start putting
That's
one
what you're
raw
there
hammer
for.
on display.
To provide me service, sir.
I am going to put one raw
What
hammer on
color
display.
did you like
And
the purple on?
if they say, is that the only color? Yes, that is the only color. That's all you get.
Not lilac. It was purple. Let me stop. Yeah.
So anyway,
fuchsia. I asked for fuchsia.
Yeah.
No, I kept saying purple. They were lilac.
Lilac.
Yeah. And I kept asking him, what did he think?
Yeah. And me and him both looked at her and was like, it doesn't matter. Do you like it? Yes. That's all that matters. You like it. We're supporting
Are you sure?
You. We are supporting you in your endeavor. If that's what you like, we support you.
I don't know.
Yes.
I still bought the fucking shoes.
Yes, you did. But not without having to ask fucking 10 questions of, is this good? Is this okay? You like this color, Steven?
These are kind of tight. Can you go give me an 8.5?
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Don't look at Steven and say, don't look at him and go, do you like this color? He don't give a shit about the color. Do you like the color? That's all that matters. Congratulations on your purchase of a pair of shoes last night, too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Love
you, mean it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you have this one in pair. Well, I'm done. Y'all stop egging me on. We got to get
That's
all right. Moving forward.
I couldn't
I'm
help
going to get a bottle of water.
You should have had that before you sat down.
This will be Curtis's bring to the table, and then Tanya, if you have something, be your chance, or we can move on.
I'll make it quick. Yeah.
And so, Curtis, your bring to the table this week is.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. I was going to talk about my week for GM, but something happened today, so I am on the fly, live TV, changing my bring to the table.
Because I haven't talked to you today. Let me hear it.
So
let me get comfortable.
We know, among other things, this month is Men's Mental Health Month.
True. Yep, that's right.
Today, I had a conversation with someone who was on the brink, like not in a good way. And I sat there and I let him talk to me for about an hour today while I was at work. And he was veering from just extreme rage, extreme exhaustion, and just a mess of man crumbling and crying. And he was telling me about how he had spent some time with some people from his past.
Mm.
And they had told him everything that he had put them through, particularly in the time that they'd known him. And he was not aware of how bad he was. And he was facing that and decided that he was going to try to get some help. And he talked about how he had been on the phone with a bunch of people between today and yesterday, and how it was so hard for him to find people that were willing to talk to him, to help him, to just find the
Yeah.
resources around him. And I watched this man in tears saying, I just don't want to be the person I am anymore. I don't want to be this. But I'm trying to get forward, but there's like a wall in front of me. And every time I take one step forward towards the wall moves 3 paces back. And I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm trying to get there, but there's no one around to help me. They're telling me, oh, we can put you on this pill or something. He's like, but that's not helping me with the root cause. You're just, numbing me, zombifying me. And it was just it was a real serious moment today
Hmm.
watching this man. And I told him, I might not have any solution for you, but I'll listen. He goes, sometimes that's all you need. And he just talked about his past and all this stuff. And it just brought me back to why we started this, just about men's mental health or just people's mental health. And I really felt for the guy today because watching someone become self-aware enough to know that they need help, then to reach out and then hit those walls and trying to get help, and watching him fight not to retreat back to what he was doing because it's just easier because he's
That's what you
hurting.
know.
Yeah, he's hurting, he's trying, and the pushback is so much. I mean, this man felt helpless, hopeless today. And that just stuck with me. I just wanted that's what I wanted to bring up today. Just I guess just be aware of people, man. Try to reach out to people. You never know what they're going through, and I'm not even really good friends with this guy. It's just I saw someone in need, and I was like, let's go outside, talk, man. Just lay it on me, whatever it is. And he was telling me, I'm telling you stuff I can't tell the closest people to me, just because you looked at me and you said, hey, I'm here, and I guess I needed that.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, I
Well,
don't even
hopefully.
really know what I'm trying to say right now.
No,
Well, I
we know
yeah.
what
Go ahead,
you're trying
Mike.
to say. We know exactly what you're trying to say because it's funny because a lot of the stuff passing through on my feed through TikTok has been a lot of the Men's Mental Health Month in June and everything. And there's some really, really sombering statistics. And I think one of the statistics that stood out to me was something along the lines, and somebody can verify this for me, that'd be great. But it's like, I think I've read like 1,500 every 10 minutes. And it's like, that's very sombering. And it's just one of those things where, and it's like you said, everybody's mental health is a thing. It's not just relegated to like, and I know it's Men's Mental Health Month, but it's really important that everybody knows that we could use, if anything, a little more a little. I don't know if it's what empathy or if it's sympathy or both.
Appreciation.
Yeah, we could use a little bit more of that because more people, more often than not, like, and I struggle with this myself, is like I don't like talking to people about it because I feel like I am nothing but burdening them with them problems. So it's like I will try to internalize it and rationalize it myself and go about it, and it's not healthy. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Curtis. And I'm sure everybody else out here, I'm sure they understand too, and I'm sure Dustin and Tanya as well.
Um, I think that first of all, Curtis, the universe put him in your path for a reason. So you had a message for him. You may not know what it was, but that there was a message for him. And that's why y'all had that talk today. And I do agree that as humans, we don't appreciate men as we should. And they have a lot of responsibilities and they carry a lot of weight. And as a woman, I think we forget that a lot as well. And, we think that y'all are okay, even though you're not showing that you're not okay. Because as a man, you're taught, well, most men are taught to um, take care of it, hide it, don't speak about it, just handle it, you know. And we should be more supportive in that aspect as well. So, you know, that I'm glad you were there for him today. He needed that. And as humans and especially as women, we need to be more aware of men's mental health, because just like we go through it, y'all do too. It's just a different level.
That, that takes me back to somebody doing a TED talk on YouTube. It was this woman, and she was doing a book club signing, and it was like really just talking about, it was like self help for women exclusively, right?
Hmm.
And this dad brought his three daughters, and he also had his wife with him. And he basically looked and said, "Hey, I noticed that you talk about all these things. Why do you? Where's the part about the men and everything?" She says, "Well, I don't study men." And he looked at her and goes, "Oh, well, that's convenient." And she was just kind of like didn't know how to take it. He was like,
Hmm.
he goes, "Let me explain something to you." He goes, "Those women right there in my life, they would rather see me die on my white horse instead of fail and live to tell about that failure." And then all of a sudden, she started doing a lot of research on more stuff with men. It's like, so she finally got the perspective that, hey, listen, this, this is a thing. So I just wanted to kind of emphasize that with everything.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I've seen that, and it was cool that she was open to it. She's like, oh, wow, okay. And then
Yeah.
she did. That's kind of what I wanted to mention about Curtis is, yeah, great brain to the table and audible anytime, and that was a great one.
Hmm.
I think what I want to point out from that, and I think Pickles basically just put the same in the
Yep.
comments, but being aware enough to be a conduit for someone. Because like you said, sometimes it's like they're not coming to you to ask to fix their life. You know what I mean? It's just like I need to be like somebody being able to open their soul to another soul for a little bit is very healing. And that's what I would just want to say about the way that you deal with it, Mike. Because we do have to bottle that shit up. You know what I mean? That's just how it is for the most part in general.
Right. In general.
Generalization, but it is important to have those at least people or outlets that you can vent from time to time to keep your shit down. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to get up this way, but even just like, Curtis or I or Tanya, whoever, just to vent some shit. And because sometimes I'll just call up an old friend or my roommate or even one of you guys and just vent for a minute about something like, oh, all right. I feel better to try to not, I guess just to maintain that if you have it rather than, hitting the depths because it sucks, man. When you can get in some lows, you can find yourself in some lows. And then especially when you start analyzing yourself and your own foundation changes from what you thought, you were doing so it's be tough. So no, that's a great thing to the table. And
I did applaud him on being self-aware enough to understand when you face those things to say, I need help.
Yep.
I just was heartbroken at the lack of resources we have for when a person says they need help.
And it's rough. Like there's not a whole lot out there, and if there is, there's a massive waiting list. When I first moved down here, I had a friend from Boston, and he was going through it, and that's the first thing he said. He was like, "I can't believe I cannot even get an appointment to see a psychiatrist for like 6 months. By then, it might be too late." So the resources are rough. We do need more resources or something, a better system in place for more urgent situations when things are happening like that or when you're going through it.
I'll add on to that too. I'll give you another example. So when my dad was diagnosed in May of 2018, 4 months later he would lose his life to kidney cancer, as we all know. But he had filed for immediate disability because he was no longer able to work. They told him he would not receive his first check until November of 2018. That
Yep.
means my stepmom never got any kind of disability check, and my dad was terminally sick for 4 months. So you're talking about resources and everything. That's just another ember on the fire that I think that is a really big time issue. Uh, like again, the whole thing about veterans. Like we have. It's sad that we have asked. And I know, and again, like I said, that's why I always tell Dustin, hey, thank you for everything you've done for your service. Anybody that's ever been in the military, I've got my grandfather's flag. He was World War II vet, and it's like one of my top two most valued possessions. Literally, I told my mom, I said, "Is ever a fire in here? Please, two things: get my dad's cremains and get my Bopal's flag, because that means the most." But it's just one of those things where it's so sad. It is so sad that we cannot allocate the right amount of resources to get people the help they freaking need.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And they wonder why the statistics I spoke of earlier, like how many a minute, how many in a month, how many in a year, they wonder why that stuff is so freaking high.
Yep.
But they don't want to, again, it's just I feel like they don't want to, either they don't value you enough. Well, I don't know what it was. I think it was Carlin that said it one time. I think he said,
Wow.
I think George Carlin said it one time. He goes, you're fine till you're born. Then you're not worth anything to us for the first 18 years. And after 18, you are just what we need.
Yep.
So again, then all of a sudden it's like, we're done with you. They need the help. Give us the help, man. Like, I don't think it's asking for much. This person asking that of you today, Curtis,
Yeah.
sometimes that's all we got is people to talk to us, man.
So maybe this could lead us to, again, this will be for down the road when we do something else, but maybe we could find another charity to get involved with for the next event we do, or, add another one. We'll find one that, or something, somewhere we can do our tiny little bit to help any fundage and then awareness, anything like that. So I think that could.
See, that's what I'm saying. Wife is enduring freedom vet, U.S. Navy.
I'm going through comments.
Dustin, what, if you don't mind, man, tell us like your branch and everything that you were in and from when to when, would you?
Sure. I did the Marines right out of high school. I was a Marine from 99 to 03. I deployed 3 times there. Cuba, Italy, Okinawa, traveled around on each deployment, and then went back home for 3 years, a 3-year break in service. Didn't do me any good. Again, we talked about that downtime and too much time, and it wasn't any good for me. So I went into the Army in 07. I just retired January 1st in 2023. In the Army, I deployed twice to Iraq and once to Afghanistan. So I did 20 years total active time.
Nice.
It's quick, down and dirty.
Yeah.
Again, just it's funny too, and I don't mean funny as in literally funny, but it's one of those things. It was like I would always ask my ball back in the day. I was like, "Tell me a World War II story," and his common answer was, "Son, you don't want to know."
Mm-hmm.
My experience was probably much different than his.
Very. Yeah. They went through some different times.
Yeah,
Woo! I don't know if I would have made it.
yeah.
But I could talk about military stuff forever.
All
But
right.
But no, man, everybody out there, if you've been in a branch of service, you've served for the country, thank you again. It is greatly appreciated, and you too, Dustin.
thanks, man.
Yeah,
And
Dustin.
everybody out here.
Thank you.
All right.
It always feels weird. It always feels weird when people say that. And when I got to Missouri to recruit, I had to recruit for 3.5 years in Missouri. I hated it so much, but it's crazy in retrospect now because I took the most professional development out of that. I took so much away from that, but I hated it. Being in high schools every day and stuff. But I remember in there too, being in uniform in the middle of the civilian world, people are thanking you all the time, especially Missouri is a very patriotic area. So if I was in any type of uniform, even my fatigues, 7 times out of 10, I was not walking out of wherever I was eating having paid for my ticket. Most people would either pay for it before I even got there or this or that. And it is weird at first, I think, for probably a lot of service members because it's like, I'm just a dude trying to do cool stuff. You know what I mean? Thank you. But it
Yeah.
just, I just started kind of saying like, when somebody would say thank you, it's like, well, you're welcome. I appreciate the support. But it was a great experience, man. I had a lot of downtime, a lot of shit times, but a lot of fun too. Anyway, moving on.
All right.
So, Tanya, what do you got for the table?
Surprisingly, I don't have nothing to bitch about.
Really?
I know
No.
that's shocking
What?
because I've been doing I've been doing a lot of personal growth this week. I mean, like I'm learning new skill set. I'm studying a couple different things and I'm trying to learn other things. So it's just doing a lot. In my mind, I just been really busy. I guess the only thing I could really bitch about is that I wake up at 4 o'clock every day and it sucks. But 4:30, and I don't know why that's happening. But
I
that's
mean, you
about
don't have to
it.
bitch. You can just tell us about what's going on.
I don't know. It's just
No.
that's I mean, but other than that, I mean, I'm okay. I'm actually okay, which is shocking.
Well,
That's when I
I'm gonna
worry
give a
when I
big
start
shout
to.
out. I'm gonna give a big shout out to Tanya, but in case you guys haven't known, damngoodaveragebowler.com now. We are done with the net. We've got the .com now, thanks to Tanya. That is, if you go there and look at what's on that website, that is all Tanya right there.
It's a
And
very basic website, guys, just for
doesn't
what we need. But it's
doesn't
a
matter.
start. So,
Give her a
so
hell
that's
yeah.
the starting point. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like learning web and I'm learning I just feel good because I'm learning and I like to learn. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people I can't do school. I got to learn on my own time. So I do some stuff at Coursera. I do some stuff, on YouTube University. Uh,
Yeah.
it all depends what's
Well,
going on, but I like to learn.
all I gotta say is, if you check the website out and you think it's badass, give us a hell yeah.
Hell
But
yeah.
Thanks.
hey, so lawyer's got a question on here. I don't know if you guys
What
can
is
see
it? I'm
I
gonna
anything.
saw
scroll
that.
back.
I saw that. I was writing it down right now to say
Okay.
we could
Okay.
answer that at the end.
I like it. Okay.
So see your question, and we'll come back to that. We got a few more things to go through, lawyer, and then we'll talk about that. That'll be a good one.
Cool. Yeah, someone mentioned earlier that we're not talking much about bowling. After Dark really wasn't isn't about just bowling. We're just talking about a little bit of everything.
Don't worry, I took care of that earlier with my wife.
Okay.
So
You got it? Okay. I know I saw that. Okay. Go ahead, Dustin.
Oh no, great point. I was just gonna say, yeah, I didn't say a whole lot about that at the beginning. And if you're just tuning in, thanks for being here. But After Dark is a new show we kind of designed to go and not necessarily avoid talking about bowling, but a place where we can come and talk about everything other than bowling.
Mhm.
Because we do a lot of stuff behind the scenes and meetings and we're around each other a lot. So we have conversations that people have on a daily basis. We were like, man, it'd be great to be able to talk about those things somewhere else. So that's what we're doing here.
Tanya, stay away from the buttons.
This is like FaceTiming with my mom.
I'm sorry. I was trying to look at the comments and I hit something else. I don't know.
We can move on, or I can ask a question to Tanya before we move on to Wide World of Sports.
Definitely,
Ask Tanya.
So
definitely Gen X.
it kind of goes with what you were saying about learning. You're learning some different things.
Mhm.
How is it going joining the DGAB crew? Being the fourth member.
Um, that's how I'm learning because a lot of the needs that we have. So I'm very good administrative wise or organizing or collecting information and creating processes. I love shit like that. I'm also into technology. So um that this DGAB is pushing me it's giving me that final push to what my goals were at the beginning of the year was to learn web design and WordPress and graphic design and things like that because um, social media as a social media manager or a content creator, you got to have a little bit under every hat. You know what I mean? You don't always wear one hat as the social media manager. You're a content creator. You're doing calendars and scheduling, and it's a lot, and I love it because I'm constantly busy. And DGAB is just fine. Is just pushing me over like that hump that I hit. So it was really cool that I was able to finally figure out the web design piece. I mean, it's not a whole lot. it's basic, but it's putting pieces together for me to, and it's helping me grow. And I really, that's what I love the most about being on DGAB. It's, I'm filling in where my strengths are. So
Yeah, it's funny because you say it's not a lot, like making the website.
it's not, it
Because,
wasn't.
well, it's not a lot to you. To me, that's the most terrifying thing in the world. And I that my point is like we're thrilled to have you on board because you are able to do things like that that we can't do as well.
Yeah, I'm a risk taker for sure. That's one thing. That's one of my strengths. I'll jump in it. If I make a mistake, I'll fix it. You know, there's a way, and if I can't fix it, I'm gonna explain why. But I usually am able to solve the problem. I'm a problem solver as well. I think that's what it is. I'm a problem solver, and I like to fix things. So, like whatever it is you guys feel like you need, I'm trying to fill in the blank, and I think I'm doing that. I'm figuring that out, and I'm doing that.
Yeah, I think it's yes. I'm thrilled to have you. I think I can speak for the other two with me, but yes, we're very excited to have that stuff being brought to us, and it's awesome to have you aboard.
Yeah, thanks. And that could be a little pushy sometimes, but yeah.
We all are, except Curtis. I think we
I'm the
all can be. We all can be in the group with DGAB stuff. I think minus Curtis.
Yeah,
I'm the
Curse
peacekeeper. I'm the peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper.
Translator.
That's a yeah, that's true. That's true. So now I'm excited. I think that that's, doing this is definitely the way I wanted to go. It's contributing to my goals that I've set up for the year. Absolutely.
I like
And
it.
now I'm nervous about speaking and things like that because y'all know I tried the podcast thing before. It didn't go well for me. So I am a little nervous about that. But that's just going to be another fear I'm going to have to overcome. And guess who's helping me with that? DGAB.
That's what I was gonna
I
say.
can't tell. I can't tell you don't like speaking right now. I can't tell at all.
Uh, yeah.
Um,
Stop doing
well,
that.
I've worked with a lot of people,
I
either
believe that.
instructing or comedy, and some type of stage talking in front of people. And I've seen a grown man like literally shut down just in doing stuff in front of a group work.
And
So you hide it well, and we're gonna have you polished in no time, and that's what we're here to do. Be
thanks.
comfortable doing it.
I appreciate that. Because,
Well,
I tried to bail on y'all a couple times. And you're like, nah.
That's when I get on the phone. What you doing, Tanya?
And that's why I left my phone in the other room last night.
that's what, yeah, because I'll just stay back in those groups in those messages and let Mike and Curtis deal with it.
Yeah, it was fun. It's great. No, I really enjoy it. And it's like I'm learning more of everyone. And I'm learning a lot about bowling. I'm not a bowler. And that was my other thing. Like, hey, this isn't my forte. And I started bowling on Fridays again, so I could try to get back into it. And I'm paying attention a little bit more and try, uh, try to understand the world of bowling more. And I'm also meeting great people like Pickles and Steven. And that tournament was eye opening in that sense for me because wow, okay, this community is awesome. And it's just you can't do nothing but absorb it in and learn from it. So it's good. It's good. My soul needed it.
From the perspective of somebody that doesn't know as much about bowling, like from our level, right?
Mm,
When we do another educational series, Tanya, the stuff that comes out of this guy, like the depth of knowledge that he has in bowling, when we start doing that and explaining stuff,
mhm.
it's literally it makes you realize you have no earthly idea what you're
None.
actually doing.
That educational series you got now, that I don't pay attention to everything. I watched every episode of that series. I looked forward to it because like I'll walk in the shop and I'll be like, I see Mike doing the inserts, for example. So he did a post this week about that. I thought that video was so short, but so much information. And I loved it because I don't know bowling. You know what I mean? The most I know about bowling and PBA is that there's a dude with an afro and he's killing it. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his name.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Not true, man.
Yeah.
Not true.
I don't know. So, but Mike is very knowledgeable. And that's why I feel like this new chapter for him is going to be different. And this is why I feel strongly about, okay, the direction of coaching, that's where he needs to go. That's where he should be. That's where he belongs because he just has so much knowledge. And so you guys doing these educational series and even different versions of it is going to be amazing, because bowling is a long time sport, and I did not care for it until I moved from Boston. So up north, I didn't give a shit about bowling, and I didn't know anybody. So the fact that I am here in a bowling alley and I have a whole family here in the bowling center is amazing. So it's a great sport, good people, and I really enjoy that information, Mike. I know I go in there and I talk to you and you give me shit sometimes, but I think you come out very well with the information through the series.
It's like I told Dustin when we were when we map out everything that we want to get across. Like, I don't think we realized that the last one we did, I don't think we realized we did 30 minutes.
We finished that. We finished the accessories one, and it was fun, and it went pretty much. We talked it out first, and then did it. And once we finished, he got up to turn it off and check the camera, and I was doing whatever, and I'm like, "How long was it? About 10 minutes?" He's like, "Dude, that was 30 minutes."
Yeah.
That one took me. That one on my computer, that episode to the YouTube channel took me probably about 45 minutes to upload.
But there was never any wasted jibber jabber. It was talking about all products in front of us.
Yeah.
And it was good. I thought it's really good. That's something we should definitely continue on, whether it's a different branch of it. But educating people about bowling is amazing. It's good. It's good because there's so many people who know about it, and may not even know that they like it. So
Or bowlers that have started bowling after our new league just started on Sunday 2 or 3 weeks ago. After the league meeting we had that night, and then we were done bowling, walking out of the parking lot. One of the new couples that I hadn't met yet doing it, new to our league, they were in front of me, so I just introduced myself. I'm like, hey, how do y'all like the league? Whatever. Talked to them and pointed out the DGAB YouTube channel, and was like, hey, these are the things you can learn from that dude. So even just any way we can give it to them, it's like sometimes you don't know how to ask for help. You move from Boston and you're like, I'm not going to ask these people how to, you know what I mean? What do you even ask? So we offer a lot of different things from bowling, but education, awareness about different things, but to give to the bowling community in any way that it helps them, whether it be right to their face like we're doing now. Thank you for joining, by the way.
True.
In just roundabout ways around the alley because you see them. You know what I mean?
Right. And I'm like the secretary of a couple different leagues. So, I mean, my life has changed dramatically, and bowling has been a big part of it. So I may not be a damn good average bowler or a bowler that is consistent, but I am well known, well liked, and people can come to me. And I recruit for every single league we have there. What day works for you is the first question I ask them, and I try to get them on a league. So um, I love it there. I love it.
And you heard it. If you need a league here in Huntsville, talk to Tanya and she'll tell you which night.
And this is a good leeway into this coming up. Okay, so coming up here, we haven't decided a permanent date yet, but this next clinic is going to be called DGAB Boot Camp. And I'm here to tell you, this one is going to be a lot more in your face. It is going to make you question yourself. And if you don't think I'm being a jackass to you, I'm not doing my job, because at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Okay? Tanya, you said something earlier. I think you was like, I'm not a damn good average bowler. You're not a damn good average bowler if you don't want to be. So my thing is with this clinic, my mindset and my goal is to get everybody taking the clinic. You have to change your mindset.
Yeah, it's very important.
You have to get over that mental hurdle. This game is more demanding and taxing mentally than it is physically. Because, again, if you got somebody talking, the biggest thing about it is, I could tell you is my best season in 21-22. You remember that.
Yeah.
I was really rolling some freaking scores. And everybody and their brother was like, dude, what's the secret? I said, the secret is to stop giving a shit.
Yeah.
Stop thinking about the outside factors that you have no control over. That guy you're bowling competitively across from you, don't worry about it. He's sitting there shit talking you. That's his weakness. He thrives on people that'll shit talk him back, because that's how he affects you up here. But the minute you close that mouth and you just let things go in one ear and out the other, and you start whooping his ass or her ass on the lane, then it doesn't matter at that point. You can be a great bowler if you just put the time and the effort into doing something. It took me a long, long time. I threw conventional. I threw plastic from the time I was 5 to the time I was 14. For 9 years, I worked on my craft. And that's the thing about it. I know things evolve, but what people don't understand, especially now, like I said, I tell people all the time, if you really put in the time and the effort, within 6 months, you can average 200 because that's the way the game has evolved to. But the thing about it is you can't just come in here, you can't pay your pro shop operator $300 for a high-performance ball and just expect the damn thing's going to strike all the time because that's not going to happen, folks. And that's another thing that's coming into DGAB boot camp. Again, getting you to change this, get in between the ears, really dive into your own mental psyche and really make me look at you and go, is this something you want? Like another thing I've had in the back of my mind is like participants, guess what? Get ready. You're going to shoot and you have to make 10 pins or 10 7-pins if you're a lefty. I am going to put up spares and stuff that you're not shooting a strike till you make your spares. Anybody can strike, boys and girls. How many of you can actually freaking spare worth of shit? You just got yourself.
And they're just as important.
Yeah, boot camp is going to be about.
And I think that's awesome. And I like what you just said, how you're going to actually set up the pins for them to actually bowl at. I think that's different. I'm over here thinking, okay, I'm gonna bowl my first ball, bowl my second ball, and you're gonna tell me what I'm doing. No, the fact that you're gonna be telling them what pins to put up, that's a challenge. And I like it.
We are very excited about the clinic coming up. We'll be talking a lot more about that in detail on the 28th. But for now, we still have a segment left, and it's time is ticking. So we will move to the last segment that we have on board with a few topics, and then we get to end with what rule would you add by our man lawyer who's still here. So, wide world of sports. Mike, we go back to you with this one. Are you ready, my man?
So the only thing I've really noticed is the NBA Finals. How about that? And if the lawyer's in here, he's going to hate me. But that game one, how about Halliburton? That dude has been insane this postseason. Like, he hit the game winner they were down by like 15 points in the fourth quarter. Okie City just had everything going for him. Halliburton drops a 2-point bucket with 0.3 remaining on the clock, and they beat Oklahoma City in Oklahoma City by, I think, 1 or 2. Now, of course, they didn't let him get back into it game 2, so the series was tied. I don't know what happened tonight. Maybe somebody could tell me about game 3 if you're in the chat that watched it. But I was going to say what Halliburton, I watched Halliburton come back in game 1 against the Cavaliers. I watched him drop the game winner here in the finals against Oklahoma City. And it's like people are sleeping on Indiana. They are sleeping on Indiana. That's my wide world of sports. Oh, and the last thing for wide world of sports from my end, too, is I don't know if you guys have heard, but the college football 26 football game from EA Sports.
Yes, I've heard about it.
The Pacers won tonight? Oh, my goodness. Okay, so 2-1 Pacers. All right, then.
Oh, wow.
And that Halliburton's a bad, bad man. But anywho, so the new thing in college football 26 is supposedly the more you play as a particular team, they're actually going to keep up with people collectively playing college football 26, and they're going to collectively keep up with who we choose to play, and that's how they're going to base on how they get some of their, I don't know if it's NIL fund or if it's something that they're going to help the schools with. And all I know is that when that news dropped, somebody immediately came on there and they were like, hey, everybody, this is a campaign. We need to get Kent State. We need to get Akron on there. Play as them, play as them, play as them, and let's get their stuff built up. And I was like, so it's just amazing. Like, it's just amazing how, like, college football has evolved from where it was 16, 17 years ago into the cash cow machine it's turning into now. And the last thing I'm going to leave with on the wide world of sports on my end is, even though my team plays in the conference, the SEC talking about getting out of the NCAA, y'all need to stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You're not better than any other conference. You're not better than any other conference. And even a lot of people have said that ever since Saban retired, the conference is not what it was. And I have half a right of mind to actually believe them.
Yeah, I mean that they were expecting a change there, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah. So that's my wide world of sports, Dustin.
I love that we're getting ready to start talking football again. I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah,
A good game of football. I know
I
Curtis
might.
is so excited about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So excited.
Oh yeah, about football.
Hey, but the wide world of sports. Let's go to Curtis.
We're
on
talking
that.
NFL football, right?
NFL and NCAA whenever.
I know. I was like, 'cause
It's not gonna be
I got to get
NCAA
back on the
much
New
further. It's
England
gonna be college
bandwagon.
football. Oh, hey, another thing I just found out today. So y'all know the UFL is getting ready. They're fixing to have their big Super Bowl thing again. Like, they're XFL and the USFL combined, right? So they're having their championship games this week. The numbers came out. This came from a podcast based in Birmingham. And they had an expert in on the podcast. I can't, for the life of me, remember the people's names, but he said, so what do you think that they're looking at for the UFL? Like, what are they looking at total? And shockingly enough, can you guys guess the one team that has had the highest viewership percentage on television this season?
This season,
Birmingham.
Ding, ding, ding. You know what their
Huh.
you know what the ratings have been for them? Every game Birmingham's been on TV, they have had a 65% viewership,
Really?
which is higher than any other team. We're talking St. Louis, we're talking San Antonio, we're talking Detroit, we're talking all that. Like Birmingham. And it's so much to the point now where they're like, well, we're not really worried about ticket sales. They're worried about TV viewership. And Birmingham is at top of the list. I think
That's awesome.
weird. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is, y'all. Because Alabama doesn't have a professional, actual NFL football team.
That's true.
It's not surprising that this is as close to semi-pro. It's morphin' time, Zordon. But it's as close to pro football as it gets here at Alabama, because we all know down here in the South it's Alabama or Auburn
Or Alabama, yeah.
Yeah.
College
But I'm just
football.
saying, I just think that's actually a pretty fun fact to bring to the wide
That is
world.
pretty cool. I like that. I did not know that.
I was going to watch some UFL this year. I was excited about it because it basically started with NFL finished. I had it on Fubo. Even when I still had Fubo, I never watched it on there. I tried once. The connection was bad. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
But that's cool to hear.
Yeah, so it's absolute big time viewership for Birmingham, and again, market's a market. So they're and surprisingly enough, they are in the USFL championship game. So I don't know who they're playing, but I know if they win, they go against the winner of the XFL division, and then they play. It's like their version of the Super Bowl, if you will.
Yeah. Nice.
But I think honestly, this is a good turn in, and Dustin, tell me if I'm wrong, that we should let Mr. Curtis Wright out the GMC talk about his wide world of sports.
Yes, moving to his, we get to shift entertainment platforms, but it's a sport.
Wide world of sports entertainment.
Yes, there we go. And just the two words that we'll use to introduce his is R-Truth.
R-Truth, yes. I don't know if it was a work or just the work of the century or whatever, but R-Truth is one of was a very beloved wrestler. He has been for the past 15, 20 years in WWE. Never really, they made gimmick belts for him just to keep him appeased, and he's had like a comedy shtick that just got over with the crowd, just made him beloved. Well, last week, during their round of cuts, they released R-Truth, and the entire wrestling world lost their minds. I mean, it was as contentious as the world could be, of that crowd could be. Everybody was singularly pissed off that they let R-Truth go. And so the story is they actually literally let him go because they couldn't get a negotiation for his contract. And then the social media got a hold of it, and they went crazy. And so they came up with a last-minute save, and they made a deal. and he made a miraculous return on, was it Saturday night?
Yep, Money in the Bank.
Saturday night.
Showing which
And
drink.
the pop for him when he revealed that he had returned was something akin to like Attitude Era, just like raising the roof down, it's about to crumble. And I think we have a new player that has suddenly emerged in the game right now. I think he's going to be a champion. I think they're going to let him beat Cena. Let him keep it for a little while and then give it back to Cena, but I think they're going to ride this wave of popularity. And I think it'll be very deserved because he's been doing this for so long. He deserves to be champion.
And Cena's got a big match coming up with who at what?
CM Punk. And where are they at, Michael?
Saudi Arabia.
Crown
What?
Jewel.
No, Night of Champions.
Night of Champions would be Saudi Arabia. Yes, CM Punk and Cena.
It's because CM Punk told him on Raw, "You've got the big mouth, John Cena."
Which is where, Tanya, just for you, that's where, what he just did from Homeboy, that's where I get, you got a big mouth, Mikkel. That's why I first called Mikkel from that, what he just did.
Cena is not
I like
lost.
that.
Cena is doing the best work of his career right now in his bid to ruin wrestling
As a heel.
as a heel.
Mhm.
I have avidly hated John Cena for his entire career. I don't bandwagon. I don't care what he did. I hated him. And now I am a Cena fan just for this last stint of his career.
He looks like a depressed Ernest.
He really does. And I love
mean-
it. He's all roided up and looking just shriveled in the face and biting people. I don't care.
It's funny because to me, like when he heel turned, I thought it was hilarious because there's not a dude with just more, I guess, like natural gusto, like 100% always gusto with him. You know what I mean? Get with everything. And so now it's funny to see him as a heel and just like the mopey stuff and unscrewing mics. It looks like it's torture for him not being that natural gusto, which is the funny part to me about it.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why he don't care, dude. And I found this out after his heel turn. He is still one of the largest merch sellers right now because now with the heel turn, guess what happened? I call it the Stone Cold effect. The people that were like the demographics from the Attitude Era, which is why Curtis likes it so much, they immediately were like, holy shit, John Cena's cool. So now you have the kids who are still going, like he could say, like he could look and call that kid fat or whatever. The kid still got his merch on. And he's going to have his merch on. It's just what it is.
When he did that, I died inside laughing. It was like he's attacking the children to their faces.
It's pretty funny.
That's some classic 1990s heel work there.
Yes, dude.
Oh, and just on a side note, Nikki Bella came back on Monday night, and when they announced her as WWE Hall of Famer, Nikki Bella, I almost vomited because, no.
Mm.
I'm unfamiliar with her, I believe.
And you're a better person for it.
He used to be engaged to John Cena.
Chana.
They were, her and her sister Brie were a set of twins that ruined women's wrestling for a really long time.
Okay, can you do a quick version of how they ruined it?
They sucked in the ring, but also sucked their way to the top.
Wow. Look at Zach. How dare you? I think it was that one promo that AJ Lee did on them. It's like, what does it say? Something about talent is not sexually transmitted.
Yeah, the talent is not sexually transmitted. Because one was with John Cena, the other was with Daniel Bryan, and both their girls sucked.
All right, you want to hear something funny about that return? One guy that got let go out of NXT, they let him go because of alleged domestic issues. He went on X and made a tweet and says, how is it that Nikki Bella has domestic issues pending, but I can't get my job back?
Oh, wow.
I've seen that actually. Wasn't sure of what it was. That's funny.
Hey, Chrissy. Oh, man.
But that's my portion of the wide world of sports entertainment.
Anything else notable WWE before we move to the last of the wide world of sports?
I think the most interesting thing going right now is the women's intercontinental division. that little thing just happened Monday night. Bailey came back and beat the crap out of Becky Lynch. So that Bailey, Becky Lynch, Laura Valkyria, I think that's going to be a good angle. Like I just think the mid card women's, like the women's U.S. Championship scene and the Intercontinental Women's Championship scene, I think those are fire right now.
Yeah, because they're actually trying stuff new with those divisions instead of having the same 3 people rotate the big belts over and over and over again throughout the years.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. It's great.
Charlotte gets another belt. I don't know what I'm gonna do if Charlotte gets another belt.
I agree. It's all storyline, man. You got to have the right storyline. So if they're getting good ones with it. Yeah, Charlotte, I was unfamiliar with her until I started rewatching again a little bit right when they started on Netflix. She's weird looking, dude.
Yeah.
Logan Paul,
Every time she leaves an injury and comes back, she looks like she's just had something sucked out of her face.
Yeah, very weird. But Logan Paul was good, and we hate it. I mean, because that's an interesting statement because I've seen clips of him wrestle, and it's like he's doing phenomenal maneuvers.
I am a fan of Logan Paul for this one reason. He is a celebrity. He's a part-timer, whatever. But from the work he does in the ring, you can tell that he cared enough to try to learn to do it. I mean, because like I said, if I was a celebrity and someone said, hey, Curtis, you want to come work at WWE for a little while? I'd be like, yeah. I'm not too mad at him for saying yeah. I would get mad if he didn't take it seriously. And he seems to be taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the level of what he can do is pretty amazing, dude. He's one of those high flyers, man. He seems to do just as much as the other dudes like that, dude. I cannot take that away from him. My feelings about him and his brother aside, you can't take what he's doing in the ring because it's pretty impressive.
Well,
Bad Bunny is another one of those examples, too. Bad Bunny did the stuff really well when it was him and Damian Priest, and when they did Backlash in Puerto Rico, dude, that entire arena. I'll tell you this. I wish they did more events like overseas. Like I'm waiting on Wembley Stadium WrestleMania.
Oh, bring back old Davey Boy Smith style.
Dude, exactly. But here's my point with that. Like, okay, I don't know which one it was, but Randy Orton came out, and that entire place
was singing his song.
He was singing his theme song word for word, verbatim, like right in beat. And it's like you come back over here to the States, and it's like they're loud, but it is damn sure not as noticeable. It's like, dude, those people over there, like I think that's like a long time ago. Bret Hart was like, dude, like over in Europe when we would do the tours, they were so much more like high.
The amount of love, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and even like, and I'm sorry, like even like if you guys get a chance to watch Night of Champions, I'm telling you, Saudi Arabia, they're freaking lit when they start coming out. I'm telling you, they get pumped up too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have to start watching WWE.
Or at least keep up with the highlights.
I know. Somebody I know watches it every Monday, but I usually leave the room.
What?
Nothing.
What?
She ain't falling for it.
Nope.
But does she know what it is?
What?
What?
Do you know what that is, Tanya?
What?
What?
No, I'm serious.
Cold.
What? Do I know what is WWE?
Stone Cold.
No, what?
What?
Of course I know who's Stone
Cold. What? I said Stone Cold. What?
Yeah, I know who he is.
What? It used to be what he would say to everybody, like during promos. He would just repeat that.
The only thing I remember from him was he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's the last time I watched WWE.
Listen, do you know where that promo came from? Do you know what originated? Do y'all know?
No.
That one I don't think so.
The phone call with Kristen?
It was 2001. He was trying to get a hold of Christian on the phone. And he couldn't get a hold of him, so he left him a voicemail. And Christian says, he goes, I was looking at my phone, I was like, oh, I missed a call from Steve. And he goes, I listened to the voicemail. He goes, hey, Christian, I'm here at a rest stop. I'm waiting to get on a bus. What? I said, I'm waiting to get on a bus. And then all of a sudden, one time, like January 02, like it started getting, he said he remembered when he debuted the shirt. He was like, oh my God, this is not going to get over. And then all of a sudden the crowd started going, what? And they started like every time he would say something, they go, what? He goes, I cannot believe that phone call to Christian is where the what originated from.
And 20 plus years later, the crowd is still screaming what?
It is still.
That's impressive.
I think there's only been like two wrestlers I could think of that got one over on the fans with the what chance. It was Undertaker and Alexa Bliss. Because I think it was
I
one
love
time in
Undertaker.
02. It was like one time in 02, they were Taker and Austin were feuding, and he started talking or saying something, and Taker goes, "Say what again if you sleep with your sister?" And everybody goes, "What?" It's like, that's what I thought.
Oh, wow. Was that in Alabama? It's not.
Hey, now. Hey.
I'm just saying.
Hey. Listen, do you know random shit like that? Like, okay, they get the rep and everything, but it's actually Kentucky. That's the highest on that list.
Oh, really? Did not know that.
Look it
Yes,
up.
we're just under Kentucky.
I mean, we're not far, right?
Hey, do y'all know if you look at the map of the United States that there's a set of states? I think it's like Minnesota, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Kentucky. If you look at the outline of that's where Kentucky Fried Chicken came from, because when you do the outline, it actually shows like Tennessee's the pan and Kentucky is in the shape of a chicken that's been cooked. Thus, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I should go Google that now.
Now you know.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, when you see it, you're never going to be able to look at a United States map the same ever again.
Okay. I
We
did
are
not know
here to
that.
deliver tidbits like that. And for our last topic for Wide World of Sports is it's under my name, but it's mostly going to be Mike talking about it, because to the PBA finals. I know that Aaron Anderson won it. I haven't got to watch the matches yet.
That one with the fro?
No, that's true.
Oh, okay.
So for you, Tanya, here we go. So Aaron Anderson, he's a pretty solid bowler, and he's been salty all year to me. Mike
Really?
can correct me at any time or if I'm speaking wrongly. But yeah, he's been pretty salty and had some pretty good matchups with the top dudes, the Belmos, the EJ Tackett's, the Troops, those guys. He won. Do you remember what title he won earlier in the year, Mike? But he won earlier. He did win a title.
I feel like we watched him do it. We were doing a live on it.
I think so. And he's lost some stuff too. You know what I mean? He's got some seconds and thirds. And then he just won the PBA finals that just finished of the top 8. So I heard it. He won, and I was like, good for him, because I know that he's been salty. He's been carrying a chip on his shoulder this season, I feel like, just from his.
I think that's because he hasn't won since 2019 pre-COVID.
So he wanted to make a statement this year.
Yeah. But here's the funny thing about that. Again, I don't, and you'll see it too, Dustin, but he gets to the last frame. He goes like a blowout 7, and he looks back. Yes, Victor's right. Former player of the year too. But he looks back and he goes, "Please tell me that's enough." Or he's like, "Is that enough?" Or something like that. And they were like, "Yes, that's enough." And he was like, I think he made some like gesture like, "Thank God," because it's EJ Tackett. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? That aside, like, yeah, he won the PBA Tour Finals, but I'm here to tell y'all something right now. And this is for anybody that wants to be two-handed. It's anybody that wants to look at a video highlight package. And it's time to give Ethan Fiore his flowers.
I actually had it written down because I wanted to talk next about the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm all ears, because I've had a conversation with old Nicholas Delgado. We've spoken about this too, and it's kind of like, yeah, talk more about him. And is there been awarded a Rookie of the Year yet? And
I haven't heard anything.
With what he did compared to Ryan Barnes, how do you think that'll go? But I absolutely agree with what you've said already.
I think it's Fiore's, because his first PBA Tour title was a major. Like, I think the only other person I could think of that won, that won a title, it was a major, and it was their first title, was Mika Koivuniemi.
Loved him.
Yeah. Yeah, Barnes is good, but riding the cost takes a bit. Now, Zach's right with that. Like, but I'm telling you, like, I have purposely told anybody, like, especially like the high school kids, y'all study a tape of Ethan Fiore. And let me tell you this, okay? If you didn't think he gets Rookie of the Year honors on the lone major he won this year, y'all need to go back and watch that 7-frame roll-off with EJ Tackett.
I watched that live with Branson, dude. It was awesome.
That was magical watching live. That was absolute. Like, and the thing about it was like, he's so balanced. Now, take into account, he's 20 years old, okay? He's got 20
He's a
year old.
baby.
Yeah. But he is so balanced. And for a two-hander, he comes around the ball super crisp. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I was rooting for Fiore in that title match against Ryan Barnes. Like, and everybody was like, no, man, it's all about Ryan Barnes. And I'm like, look, Ryan is going to have a good career. He has the pedigree. That's all there is to it. There's whether you like Chris Barnes or whether you like Linda Barnes, the pedigree is there. He is going to win. There is no doubt about that. But if you look at the just to my opinion alone, you look at the body of work. You took EJ Tackett, arguably the #1 player in the world right now, to 7 frames in a roll-off. And you won the PBA Players Championship, which I do believe that's a $100,000 check. Like, that's like for a 20-year-old kid, y'all, even in the economy state that we're in with inflation and all that other stuff, dude, $100,000 to a 20-year-old kid, that's life-changing money.
Yeah, it is.
That's just what it is.
That is.
Life-changing money to this 35-year-old kid.
Right.
It was weird to hear. I forget which tournament, but Kimberly Pressler was talking to Barnes towards the end of the season. She's like, "Oh, you're a shoe-in for Rookie of the Year." And when she said that, I was like, "Wait a second, what about Fiore?" You know what I mean? Because again, it's like, the kid won a Masters, man.
Yeah. Dude, again, like I said, Barnes has got the pedigree. Barnes is going to be a winner. He's going to get his flag. He's going to get his flowers. But I'm telling you, like Ron Killen said Monday Night on Raw, put some respect on his name, and that's Ethan Fiore. And I will live and die by that. Like this kid, I'm telling you right now, for a 20-year-old kid, it's my prediction that in 10 years he will have 12 titles or more, if not sooner. That is my big time guess prediction. But by the time I'm 50, that kid's he's gonna have a Hall of Fame worthy career. Is my point.
I agree. We'll keep tally. We'll keep real time tally over the years. I mean, I totally agree. I mean, I think I even asked you a couple months back, like, "Hey, what do you think about this Rookie of the Year thing, man?" Yeah, definitely agree. We're over time a little bit. All right.
It's okay.
So we shall end with. We were going to talk about the PBA moving to CW, but let's just move on. Yeah. Let's move on to our last, and that's the fun question that our boy Lawyer provided for us. If I missed part of it, fill in for me, please. But what rule would you add to bowling? Was that the gist of the question?
Yeah, it's like what rule would you add or take away?
I hadn't thought about that at all yet. So,
One.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Mine is if you were bowling someone and they're scratch and you have handicap, if they bowl a 300, if you do not match them 300, I don't care what your handicap is, the point should go to the 300 bowler.
That's one of the first things I remember hearing Mike say is, if I ever bowl a 300 and lose, I'm quitting.
That should not happen because the handicap bowler can do more than 300, but the scratch bowler who bowled a perfect game, they can't do better than perfect. So they should automatically get the point.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, and that's a good one, you a-hole. That was a good one right out of the game.
No, I see. Zach says right here, thumb has to be in the ball.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing about that rule. Like, whether we like it or not, the game is evolving, y'all.
For sure. Big time.
We have to be on too many times.
Excuse me.
And I think too many times bowling has been on the reactionary side instead of the proactive side. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, it's like you could teach somebody to roll the ball with the thumb in the ball if you want. You can require it if you want. You can do whatever the case may be. But the fact of the matter remains is like, and again, Belmo was the trendsetter on that. whether you like or hate Belmo, no matter how your personal feelings are towards it, Belmo was the trendsetter on that. That got eyeballs back on the game. And even if they're going to the CW, a television station is better than no television station because, like, the PWBA is solely relying upon Bowl TV to do their qualifying rounds and show that content and everything. And then they're lucky that they're actually getting ready for the PWBA US Women's Open this coming week. So that's going to be on CBS Sports Network, too.
I saw you pushing buttons, Tanya.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't really have a serious one, but I am serious with this, but I don't know where the money would come from. I think that if you can bowl perfect game while drinking a full beer every frame, so like first frame you got to finish the beer, second frame you got to finish the beer.
Fuck no.
So if you can do that and bowl a 300, I think you should automatically get a check for like at least $50K. I don't know from where. We can talk about that later.
Uber.
But I feel like if you could do that, then that's worthy of $50,000 and a plaque.
So you pull it off, and then the stork comes in with a sack and just drops $50K and flies off again.
Or the mayor with the key to the city type thing. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
What kind of rule would you want to change, Tanya? Or what would you want to add?
What? I don't know
Add
if
or
I
take
have
away.
been. Huh?
You can add or take away. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough to be honest with you. I don't know enough. I mean, what rule I would
Okay, let's add a layer to this so Tanya can answer this. Okay,
probably behavior issues.
in your experiences being a secretary, a treasurer, a league officer, like what would you get? What would you take, or what would you take away, or what would you add in the context of maybe you have a problem with people not paying their dues on time or something like that.
That's funny, but that's more my responsibility.
I
I
have
think
another one. If you
we
don't, sorry, I didn't mean to
no.
interrupt.
Go
You have
ahead, do your
something.
thing because I don't know. Go ahead.
I just wrote this one down because this one could be. I don't golf a whole lot. I tried golfing, but I suck at it, and I'm not good enough to try to get better at it. But I've heard the term mulligan in golf, and I understand that means if you have a bad drive, you get a do-over.
Mm-hmm.
So what if? Yes, it's very lovely. It looks like your katana that you're about to lace people up with. Do you think, okay, both of your takes, Tanya, for you, do you think as a bowler who's learning, getting better, a new bowler at our level, how would you feel with one mulligan per 10 frames? And then, Mike, what do you think about at your level if handicap bowlers were allowed one mulligan per game?
Can you define mulligan?
A do-over. Let's say that obviously, like for this, we'll say
no.
Okay.
No, because that just takes away from the game. That just takes away from the game for me. I don't know.
Mulligan has to be bought, and that's where we get the funding for the $50K for the drunken man.
No, I guess. Well,
here's the thing. Okay, they have tournaments that they run. Like, let's say, for instance, they do like four games of qualifying. Okay, you bowl your 4 games. They usually hand out a mulligan, meaning that they're going to take your scores for your 3 highest games and they're going to drop your lowest game.
I've done things like that with I've got some experience with things like that.
That's too much work.
I was going to say the only meet halfway I can give on that if you want to add a mulligan, it can only be used for the first frame of the game.
Ooh,
I like that.
I do like that. What if I were to counter and say you have to use it before your 5th frame?
I'd even throw that one in there.
Yeah.
I say 4th.
But I don't want you like on like the front 12. You like throw that and just split like mulligan. No, motherfucker. You didn't bowl 300. You were not mulligan on the.
Definitely agree. I think it's fair to say that in this fairy tale world that we're living in, if we said you had to use it by your 5th, I would vote for that.
Mm-hmm. I'd go with that.
Yeah. I would take away or add to it. I mean, again, like y'all know how I feel about the whole 300 is the max score in bowling. That's what it should be. We know that. I feel like collectively you ought to be able to. Golly, man, I am drawing a blank here about how I want to use my words. Like, use your words, Michael.
You can do it.
I can do it. Nick,
You can do it.
No, I think it's just more along the lines of it's like there needs to be a universal system, like an extraordinary league of tournament directors, and we all need to be in this network together and say, hey, we are able to put our scores from our tournaments in so everybody can access them. Like, and I mean, I know it's like USBC as a collective and everything, but I'm talking about like actual tournament directors. Like, so if we go collectively into this database and we can see anybody and we can be alerted to people that are trying to buck the system or scam the system, and we can actually make the sport really good again in that regard. That's what I would add to it.
That is some Alabama shit for being on the APB for trying to get too many throughout the state. I love that.
I mean, just a database where you, again, because it's such a gray area. Like the term sandbagger, it is such a gray area that you can email USBC and ask and inquire to them about it, but they don't have a ironclad 100% bad to the bone answer for you to enforce. So it's like if our governing body doesn't have an answer for it, like there's no definitive way to enforce it. You've got, again, the best way to do it is collectively have a database with tournament directors and say, this is who won this based on this average and everything. You know, it's one of the reasons I don't really try to do handicap tournaments that are high anymore, but I do like the 90% of 200 and 90% of 210s because you take away a bowler's ability to try to buck the system that best way possible.
But the sad thing is we could talk all day long about this, which we will again in the future all the time because it is a lot of fun. But the point is people are always going to try to do that and buck the system and finagle and do whatever they can because that's what they're born to do.
Yeah. I just want to know, like, how would you sandbag in golf? Like, I mean,
I don't know, but kind of to come back to almost full circle. Remember how you and I were talking earlier, Mike? Like, I wish a mofo would. Like, you get me pissed off enough, I'll go figure out how to sandbag in golf. You know what I mean?
Right. Come back with some fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't like. I mean, again, like me personally, like even let's just say if I took a 5-year break and I came back, I could not honestly go to a tournament, look at the tournament director and go, hey, man, I've got this 195 average because I've been out of leagues for 5 years. I would be the person that would go in there, look, bro, put me scratch, man. I don't want to deal with this bullshit and this backlash. Just put me here. It's up to me to get back to where I was.
One finger bowler is telling us how to sandbag in golf.
Well, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So.
Oh, I bet it happens all the time. I could see that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same too, like with jiu-jitsu tournaments as to where, because there's kind of it's the belt and beginner level. Because you have like beginner to like 12 months, beginner to 6 months. You know what I mean? Because if you're new in that, you have no clue what you're doing. But then other guys that step away from the sport and come back for a while, but they've done stuff in the past, and it's like they're, like, hey, dude, I haven't been on the mat forever. Let me start with the, 0 to 6 month dudes. But some of those guys have used that, and you're like, I remember one guy in a comp, I was like, dude, there's no way that you've only been doing this 6 months. And he's like, oh yeah, I do a lot of clinics. I'm like, man, there's always going to be those people that do that.
Well, I tell you what, I think now if we've got everything according to schedule, we should talk about upcoming events to close this out.
Yeah.
Sure.
The main one I have, I don't know if you have a layout of stuff in front of you, Tanya, but the main one that comes to mind for me, our next big one is the DGAB podcast. on the 28th. Now that's going to be episode
19.
19. That's what I thought. Last one was 18. That's how it goes.
That's it.
We're very excited. We have a special guest with us. We will be talking more about the clinic coming up, as well as, I think, probably reviewing kind of what we've done thus far through the year so far and what we're looking to do the rest of the year. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Guy is already halfway through 2025.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I know.
But let's see. Yeah. So the 28th, yep, DGAB podcast episode 19. Michelle Oxford is going to be joining us some way halfway through between that episode. And also to let everybody out there know, I do have 100% confirmation that Saturday, July 5th, 6 p.m. Central Time, Calling All Bowlers, episode 22, with the Derek Tate Memorial Tournament champion, Mark Dillard himself.
Yay!
And another point of reference about Mark has actually got his pro card. He's actually got his PBA Tour, PBA 50 Tour senior card, and he is going up to Michigan for the PBA 50 World Series of Bowling. I am super stoked.
We need to cover that.
I am super stoked to talk to him about that on CAB. So
that's awesome.
And one of the things, like when I talked to him the other night over the phone, he was like, I really want to talk a little bit more about your Derek Tate tournament. He goes, Mike, this thing's going to be special.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So we're going to be doing DGAB podcast with Michelle Oxford Saturday, June 28th at 6 p.m. The following Saturday, July 5th, 6 p.m. Central Time, episode 22 of Calling All Bowlers is with Mark Dillard. And we're going to be getting the stuff set up for the DGAB boot camp clinic.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of things, not necessarily dates for people to watch for. I think we may be live during some of it, but just another cool collab piece that we're doing, that you're doing, that we're going to cover a little bit more with another gentleman that came down from Nashville, came to us from Nashville with Richie.
Yes, so just to let everybody know I said I'm done with league bowling, and I know my wrist is like really bothering me, but I am going to make it through. He is actually going to do an analytical video like he normally does. He actually did one with Pickles when Pickles was down here for the tournament, but he's actually going to do one on me, and we're actually going to be live behind the scenes. And while he's filming, and you guys are going to hear from Dustin, Curtis, and Tanya, and myself, of course, while we go through that whole process. And it's also going to be fun because it's going to be right after the 3-game scratch sweeper that day that will take place on the U.S. Open number 4 pattern, also called the checkerboard pattern.
Which Richie is tossing on, correct?
Yes, he is bowling in that sweeper. So I'll probably plan on going live for that sweeper because it's going to be great watching everybody bowl and suffer on that.
Oh, man.
It's going to be beautiful. I'm looking forward to the carnage.
Dude, commentary is so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
When you know what you're doing.
But I do also want to let everybody know on here, if you're not a subscriber already, please consider becoming a subscriber for $2.99 a month, because you will get exclusive live access to the DGAB boot camp clinic. We will be doing a subscriber only live for that. So we will be putting that piecing that puzzle together here in the next couple of weeks and get that information out to y'all as soon as possible. And I'm going to leave a little mystery intrigue with this, if y'all will. But all I'm going to say is,
like the Macho Man. Sorry, just going to leave a little intrigue. Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that in decades.
Yeah, but no. All I'm going to say is fall time, tournament time. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm looking forward for us being able to present that with y'all. So stay tuned for that.
Yes. A lot of fun things for DGAB coming up, which leads us into, I'll do the pre-outro, and then Curtis, we still need you for your like, follow, subscribe spiel, because you do it the best. But beforehand, I will say, reach out, let us know, whoever you want to, Mike, Curtis, myself, Tanya, because we're always looking for feedback on what we're doing with DGAB, because it's for the bowling community. So let us know what you like, what you want to see more of, this or that, because we talk a lot behind the scenes, and there's Mike and I were just kind of joking yesterday or today. I mean, we all do, but it's like we have so much stuff that we want to do that we are working on. So let us know, because you never know. Your suggestions could make us do this before that or that before this. Or point is, we want to provide the best content we can for you guys and provide what you guys want to see. So let us know.
And snow.
Yep. And then Curtis, my man.
Going off what Dustin just said, yeah, guys, let us know. And if you like what you guys are seeing here, remember to like, subscribe, and share. We are still trying to build the community over on YouTube. So
Yeah.
give us a follow there. That is free. Also, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure your notifications and all that jazz is on. And I will turn it over to Dustin for the outro.
Which Curtis was going to do to tell you again to like, follow, subscribe, and not to one up you, Mike, with that. But I just thought of this one too. No, another perfect teaser we can loft out there because the cream rises to the top. I've been watching a lot of
Really accurate.
But we're in the summer right now. Soon as fall gets here, October, we have our next merch drop.
Yes.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. That we all know what it is, but we have not let it out yet. We know what's. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be a limited edition run.
Limited edition. My words are escaping me too. Another word that means like a special one.
Damn near midnight.
Yeah.
That's why.
With that, it's been great being back. We were going to start at 9, but the GMC had business which happened. So
I enjoyed it.
Well,
I'm surprised I'm still up.
We're going to be back. We're going to be back with the next DGAB After Dark in 2 weeks. Am I right?
Yep. Yes. I was looking for the date on that, but it is on the website.
Yes. LeverageBowler.com is up thanks to our executive liaison.
Right, you remembered, Mike. Good for you. I hadn't used it yet.
Executive.
Yeah.
Well, just so you guys know, I am the DGAB. He is the BEARD. This is the GMC, and this is the executive LIA Xeon.
I like that.
Not bad, Mike.
I like that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
good job, man.
The
With that, I think that's the
DGAB.
perfect way to say au revoir to everyone, and thank you for tuning in and allowing us to do what we do because we love it. So thank you, everybody, and we will talk to you guys soon.
Good
All right.
night.
Good night, everybody.